Welcome to today's episode, Wazi Lekaya, where we discuss things that pertain African people, things that African people as a way of living, which we have totally forgotten about as African people. Today we'll look at a marriage in an African way. How important was marriage when the two were joined together to build a family? When the two were joined together to build a family, they were building a family of the living. They were building a family of the unborn. So when someone was brought into a family, let's say a woman is brought into a family, when he's brought into a family, he's not only coming for his husband alone, he's coming for the entire family. The entire family being the family that is present, the family that is unborn, the family for the dead. So when you come into a family as a woman, you needed to understand that you are not coming only for your husband. As a groom, you needed to understand that you are only not marrying only this wife for you alone. You are marrying this wife for the entire family. The entire family of all the people in your family, you are marrying for them. You are not only marrying him for yourself. You are not only marrying to this man for yourself, but you are marrying for the entire family. As you have come into the family, the forefathers would understand that when someone is brought into a family, he is brought into a family with a responsibility that he should carry over. A woman had a responsibility in the family. A man had a responsibility in the family. As a man, you were there to lead the family. As a man, you were there to take the family from one step to the other. As a woman, you were there to lead the family in your own way as a wife in the family. So these are the things that the African people or the African way was done, that you have a responsibility to carry. So these people, when they come into a marriage, there's one thing that they understood, that they have a responsibility. As a man, you are the head of the family. You must lead this family, you must protect this family, you must provide for this family. As a woman, you must follow and cherish and care of your husband and care of the family that is within this clan. So as a woman, you will understand that when you're coming into the family, you carry your duties or you carry your responsibility to care for this man. You carry your responsibility to look after this family as well. You care for your responsibility to be able to provide all the duties that are related to a woman in this family. But as a man, you are here to provide for this family. You are here to lead this family. You are here to protect this family. So these responsibility, these people, when they were getting married, they would understand this responsibility between themselves to say, we are getting married, but these are our responsibility as we get married, which is different from us today. Today we marry for different reasons. That is why our marriages don't last, because we are marrying for the different reasons. This is a story that I never heard my mother telling my father, I love you. I never heard my father telling my mother, I love you. But these people lived in harmony and peace because they understood their roles in a family. They understood what they had to take and push forward in a family, in this relationship that they had. Not the fact that they didn't love each other. They loved each other. The fact that they didn't say it out, but they loved each other. My father never told me that I love you, my boy. But I knew my father loved me because of the way he was doing things, the way he was acting towards me. So my father loved me. So, but as a father or as a man in the family, you were the provider. As a man in the family, you were taking care of the family. As a man in the family, you lead, you take decisions, but you are not taking decision to disadvantage the wife. You are not taking the decisions to disadvantage the family. You are taking decisions that will lead the family forward. So these were the responsibility that our forefathers had in mind, to say when you come into a family as a woman, you have your own responsibility. When you when you marry as a man, you have your own responsibility. Today we are marrying for the wrong reasons. That is why our marriages don't last, because we are marrying for the wrong reasons. We don't understand why we should get into this marriage. You'll see today that people marry because of wealth, especially women. When they come into a family, they come into a family because they've seen that there is wealth. They come into family for only for one reason. When that thing is not available anymore, when there is no income that you came, when you looked at this man, you find that he had enough income. So we came into this marriage because there was in income that will satisfy all your physical needs. But then when this dried out, you walked out of this marriage because you had married for the wrong reasons. So this is what we should avoid. If you marry, you are marrying because there is a responsibility that you must carry in this family. You are marrying as a man because you have a responsibility to push forward in this marriage. But if you marry for the wrong reasons, that is why our marriages don't last. Our forefathers will date for a very short time. They will date for 3 months and they get married. They will date for 2 months and they get married. But nowadays we date for 3 years and then in 6 months we divorce, because we don't understand our responsibilities as men. We don't understand our responsibilities as women when we come into this marriage. Yes, in the past there were other arranged marriages. If we look in the northern of Nigeria, things like the Yorubas, they had arranged marriages. Their system of arranged marriages, their idea was to marry a family that we have known. You are marrying from a family that you are taking a wife from a family that we have known. So their relationship with this family, they want to increase so much their relationship in this family. In that case, you need to marry those people that we have known. You need to marry those people that we have been with together for a very long time in a community, and you know their ins and outs. So they could arrange marriages, and they could arrange marriages that will last forever, but which is not what we are encouraging today. People are free to choose whoever they want to marry to. They are free to choose who they want to marry with. You are free to choose as a woman which family do you want to marry to. You are free to choose as a woman, as a man, which family do you want to marry from. So there were arranged marriages in that time, but these marriages will last. They will last because these people, they've known each other. They've a relationship that they've built from the past. Again, from the Yorubas, you were not deciding as a man to say I want to marry. Your family, your father will see that you are fit now to get married. They arrange a wife for you because they've seen that you are mature to get married. But nowadays, yes, it is free for all to choose whoever you want to marry to. It is free for all of us to choose who I want to marry to. But you cannot marry when you know that you don't have the right possibilities, the right income, the right channels to lead the family as a man. As a man, it is not wise for you to marry when you know you are not able to take care of this family. Because as a father, I cannot take care of your family as my son. You should have something that you'll carry forward, because when you are marrying, you have a responsibility to do. You are not marrying just for the sake of marrying, but you have a responsibility to do, and something that you must push forward from this family to the next generation. So as a leader, you need to know why you are marrying. So as I said, let's not marry for the wrong reasons. Let's not get into a marriage as women for the wrong reasons. Let's not marry as men for the wrong reason. Because when we marry for the wrong reason, this is why our marriages don't last. because we are marrying for the wrong reasons. But let's marry because we know we are men. We know we must push an agenda of being a man. From the past, this is how God has created people. To say men must lead, this is how God has created a human being. Men must lead. This is how God has created people of males. Because they must lead the family, because they must lead us in a community. This is why, for those who have studied theology in the Bible, the Apostle Paul is writing to Timothy and Titus. He's telling them that if an elder has to be chosen in a church, he has to be somebody who has children. He has to be somebody who has children, somebody who has looked after a family. Because if you can't look after a family, how will we be able to look after the family of God or the community of the believers? Because we have seen how you manage your family. We have seen how you lead your family. That is when we can be able to testify and say, you can lead the church. You cannot be a church elder when you don't have children. You cannot be a church leader when you don't have a wife. You cannot be a pastor when you don't have children. You cannot be a pastor when you don't have a wife. How do you become a pastor to look after the flocks when you don't have a wife, when you don't have children? How do we know you are able to look after the family of God when you cannot look after your own family? So this is how God has designed mankind, to say men must lead, as they must lead a marriage, as they must lead a church. They must be men who have been chosen as men by God because of the status of their family that they are leading. So in a marriage, let's avoid as churches to mingle in the affairs of family marriages. There is no way where a pastor can decide to say, if the family is not agreeing to you to marry this girl, or if the family is not agreeing for you, both of you, to marry, and then the family will intervene and say, we will process all these marriage issues and everything so that you get married. A marriage must come from two families. Two families must agree. Two families must bless this marriage. You, as children of God, or as pastors, or as elders of the church, you don't have a right to administer a marriage where two families have not agreed. I see today it happening in churches where ministers or pastors or elders, they process a marriage between the two people to get married, whilst the parents don't know. Or you guys, men and women, or boys and girls, don't take marriage lightly. Because there's a time when you just decide to go to the court and get married, the two of you, while the parents don't know. This is not a blessed marriage. A blessed marriage must come from the two families agreeing for you guys to marry each other. So this is how we are saying marriage must start within a families. Marriage must start within families. Families must agree for you guys to marry each other. This is how the African way is done. This is how the African community is doing things. For you guys to get married after the families have blessed you. There's no one who must process your marriage affairs without your two families agreeing into each other. Churches, let's avoid doing these things. Two marriages must come from the families. Families must agree that the children must marry without the church getting intervened. The church will intervene when the families have blessed the marriage. Then the church can take their part as these children are within them. So, in an African way, you could see that this boy could take care of this family. As a woman, if you see a man who cannot provide for his mother, before you guys get married, you must know that he will never provide for you. As a man, if you see a woman who disrespects his parents, you must know he's not a good wife, because he will never respect the in-laws, your parents. So if he can't respect her parents, that definitely you will never respect your parents as their in-laws. So this is a red flag for you if you want to marry. If a man, as a woman, if you want to get married to this man, if a man cannot provide anything for his parents for his family before you guys get married, he will never take care of you. If a woman, you man that you want to marry, disrespect his parents or disrespect your parents, that means she is not a good woman. She will never respect the in-laws. So let's try by all means as African children, let's try by all means as African children to follow the African way of doing things. Because the African way of doing things, yes, it has got its own flaws, but it has got its own good as well. But the good, they are more advantageous than the flaws of an African way of doing things. African way of doing things has been something that could take us far if we had not gone wrong. Because we are in this mess because it is within us that we have gone wrong. We are in this mess because it was started by us. So let's go back and think twice. With an African way of doing things, things will go better and get better and better and better for us. This civilization that we are in, yes, we are civilized. But as we are civilized, we must not forget that we have our own way of doing things. We have our own culture of doing things. Marriage was there for the family of the living, the family of the unborn, the family of the dead. This is how marriage was carried forward. Remember what I said. As a man, you were there to lead the family. As a man, you were the provider. As a man, you were to give security to this family, to your family that you have married to your family, to your wife. You were the security of your wife. And as a woman to this family, you have married this man not only for him, but for the entire family. You must know that your duties as a woman in this family carries more weight than any other thing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for having us. Thank you for everything that you do to continue to teach us as well, to continue to strive for betterness with all of us. Subscribe, share, and like these videos. May you be blessed. Today is better than yesterday. Our future is bright. Thank you.